Now let's talk about something we often take for granted until it's gone. Infrastructure. You know, the roads, the bridges, the public transport, all the stuff that makes a country tick like a well-oiled machine.
Now, I have heard that, okay, so the Dutch roads are, I guess, immaculate, right? And I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of people were saying in the comments and stuff that as soon as you drive over into Belgium, you can completely, like, even if you didn't look at any signs, you know you're in Belgium because the roads are way more terrible in Belgium than they are in the Netherlands. I don't know. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the wonderful world of my reaction videos. You guys are amazing. Glad to have you. We're going to be checking out which is better, the Netherlands or Belgium. That is the question of the day here, okay? And the original channel is by Countries Explained. So we're going to get explained here. What is better, the Netherlands or Belgium? Now, the top half of Belgium speaks Dutch, right? The Flemish region, Flanders, actually. Flanders region. Flemish are the people. And then, of course, the bottom part of Belgium is the Wallonian people. They're called Walloons, but the region's called Wallonia. They speak French. So anyways, links to the original video will be in the description section down below. Why don't you boop that like button on the way down, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it and find out which is better, the Netherlands or Belgium. Belgium used to be part of the Netherlands back in the day.
Who is actually better and who would win? That's what we're looking to find out.
And who would win, huh?
We'll compare the Netherlands to Belgium and see who's actually the superior of the two. But before we start actually comparing, let's go over the ground rules for this competition. We have 6 different categories in which we'll give each country a score from 1 to 10 points. Then, when we have looked at all categories, we count the points together and see who's the winner. And for each and every one of you who might take this as a hard reality, this is just for fun and entertainment.
Just for fun and entertainment, guys. Don't be fighting in that comment section. Also, I'm eating some Lotus Biscoff Belgian speculoos cookies while I'm enjoying this video. It's fitting.
So don't choke on your waffles or break an ankle in your wooden clogs if you get too frustrated about the results, okay?
I actually have wooden clogs.
Good. Now with that out of the way, let's see who is actually the boss country of Belgium and the Netherlands. Let's start with something very important, the geographic landscape. After all, this plays a significant role in defining a country's identity. First up, the Netherlands. Part of the Low Countries, and part of it for a reason. This place is flat as a pancake, and a big chunk of the country is actually located under sea level, believe it or not. This definitely would have been a problem for most countries, but not for the Dutch, who over time become the world leaders in water management.
Yep.
They've built canals.
They've actually helped like a lot of other countries with water problems, and I guess from what I hear, anytime a country has like water issues, most of the time they bring in the Dutch for their expertise. So they helped Florida and I believe Louisiana. They helped build the I can't remember it. The artificial islands. There's a string of artificial islands somewhere. I can't remember where it was at, but they helped build that as well.
Canals and dikes all over the country, which now is a huge part of the landscape and quite frankly looks beautiful, especially in the cities where the canals flow through them, creating a very Dutch feeling. And while it's flat, the country's tulip fields kind of saves the landscape from being very plain and boring.
And they're very beautiful,
as these fields look like splashes of paint all over the countryside and truly makes it a sight worth seeing.
Probably the coolest fields I've ever seen in my life, honestly. I mean, look at all the colors.
But on the downside, the Netherlands is still flat, and that can be, well, boring. Have you ever tried to hike in this country? Well, it's more like a long walk than a hike, since there's basically no ups and downs here. Also, due to Netherlands' high population density, finding truly untouched wilderness can be tough. For the good, the bad, and the pancake flat, the Netherlands receives 7 points in this category.
I believe, is it Limburg or Tilburg or something like that? Let me go ahead and pull up a map of the Netherlands here. There's a region in the south of the Netherlands that's kind of hilly. If this loads, my internet's slow, so bear with me here. Yeah, so down in here. Oh, is it not gonna? Okay, yeah, Limburg. Is Tilburg in Limburg? But anyways, yeah, the Limburg province actually has some hilly areas. And I don't know about Maastricht. I would assume Maastricht and Valkenburg and that kind of area would be hilly as well, with it being in the south.
Moving down over to Belgium's landscape, and we first encounter the northern region of Belgium called Flanders. The landscape here is pretty similar to that in the Netherlands, flat as a tabletop, with cities and towns dotting the landscape. But with Belgium, the further south you go, the more interesting it gets.
Okay, so Brussels is excluded, and I know Brussels is a predominantly French-speaking city, also the capital of the European Union. But is Brussels considered part of Wallonia? Because right here he highlighted the Flanders region, but it doesn't highlight Brussels. Now, with Brussels speaking French, like the Walloons or whatever, is that just like an enclave, exclave, whatever, of Wallonia?
The ground starts rising, the greenery gets thicker, and all of a sudden you're in Wallonia, with the hills rolling out in front of you.
And it's more
once
French.
you hit the Ardennes, you're in a completely different world from where we started. Now we see dense forests, winding rivers, sleepy villages and castles that make this kind of a magical place,
Wow.
straight out of a fairy tale. And while that sounds pretty awesome, this place gets pretty gloomy and grey when the weather's not great, which sadly is quite often. So for Belgium's diversity and charm, we're giving Belgium 7.5 points here.
I would have
Now
given
let's
it
talk
8.
about the bread and butter of all countries, literally, the economy. Both the Netherlands
Oh, I thought he was going to talk about the bread. No, the economy.
and Belgium have pretty strong economies, but in different ways. The Netherlands are serious about their business. The Dutch economy is like a well-oiled bicycle, smooth, efficient and eco-friendly. They are the world's second largest exporter of goods, which is pretty impressive for a country smaller than the state of West Virginia. Also,
Wow.
their port of Rotterdam is the biggest in Europe, where ships bigger than skyscrapers sail in and out each day, carrying all sorts of goods.
Yeah.
But it's not all roses, or maybe I should say
Tulips.
tulips. The Netherlands is also known for its high cost of living.
Is that the Netherlands? I see a hill. I see a hill there, guys.
Eating out can burn a hole in your pocket, and don't even get me started on housing prices. It's like the market decided to take a roller coaster ride upwards. Also, they have one of the highest tax rates in the world. In fact, it's so high you might need a ladder to see the top.
Jeez.
And yes, I know a few Scandinavians are looking at me right now saying, yeah, I'd be happy to pay that low personal tax. But come on, it's still high. All in all, this brings the Netherlands to 8.5 in the economy category.
Okay, so Scandinavian countries have higher tax rates is what it sounds like. I don't know for sure, but that's what he implied, I think.
Belgium, on the other hand, is like that quiet kid in class who always get good grades. They've got a robust and diversified economy, the country is a major player in the global diamond trade, and Antwerp is the world's leading diamond city.
Okay.
Also, their beer, gold standard.
I second that. Trappist ales from Belgium, you're not going to get any better. You simply... I've had West Vletten 12, which is like one of the most sought after, rarest beers on the planet. Somebody gave me a couple of them. They gave me 3 of them, I think. They sent me some over. And I've had, let's see, Trappist Rochefort, number 8, and triple. I've had Westmalle, double and triple, Orval, Chimay Blue, and then out of the regular beers that's not Trappist ales, I've had Leffe Brune, Leffe Blonde, and Hugarden. So good, so good.
Quite literally, they make a good chunk of money from it. The biggest chunk though comes from the export of various chemicals. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows here either. Belgium is split between the Dutch-speaking Flemish community, which is generally richer and more economically active, and the French-speaking Walloons, which traditionally has had higher unemployment rates. This divide has caused some economic tensions in the past, although the GDP divide isn't that big at present time. Plus, Belgium also has high taxes, though they offer a good range of public service for it. So it's like paying for a fancy meal. It's pricey, but at least you're getting something delicious. Given the highs and lows, Belgium scores an 8 in the economy category.
Okay.
Now let's talk about something we often take for granted until it's gone. Infrastructure. You know, the roads, the bridges, the public transport, all the stuff that makes a country tick like a well-oiled machine.
Now, I have heard that, okay, so the Dutch roads are, I guess, immaculate, right? And I don't know if it's true or not, But a lot of people were saying in the comments and stuff that as soon as you drive over into Belgium, you can completely, like, even if you didn't look at any signs, you know you're in Belgium because the roads are way more terrible in Belgium than they are in the Netherlands. I don't know.
Let's start in Belgium. When it comes to infrastructure, Belgium is a bit of a mixed bag. Their train network is pretty extensive and punctual, which is great. It's also one of the densest railway networks in the world. Also, the country is known for its extensive network of motorways, which are, fun fact, so brightly lit you can see them from space.
Jeez.
The port of Antwerp is a significant logistic hub and is the second largest in Europe, only beat by one other port, which
Rotterdam.
ironically is located in the Netherlands and that we mentioned before, the port of Rotterdam.
Yep.
Brussels is considered the capital of the European Union, so connectivity here is great, especially by air. But then, there's the traffic here. Ever been stuck in a traffic jam so long, you consider setting up camp right there on the highway?
Oh, so do they not have the same structure as the Netherlands when it comes to the traffic? Because I guess the traffic in the Netherlands isn't so big of an issue. They divert traffic, like highways around the cities, and then make the centers of the towns and the cities more bike friendly. Is that different in Belgium, I wonder?
Well, that's a regular Tuesday in Brussels. The city is notorious for its traffic problems, so for its bright highways but sometimes congested byways, we're giving Belgium a 7.5 in the infrastructure category.
Okay.
So, the Netherlands. When it comes to infrastructure, the Dutch are pretty much on top of their game. Ever heard of Dutch efficiency? Well, their infrastructure is a perfect example. With an extensive network of highways, railways and waterways, getting around is a breeze. But what really sets the Netherlands apart is their love affair with bicycles. The country is crisscrossed with bike lanes and the infrastructure is incredibly bike-friendly.
More bikes than people over there.
They even have bicycle parking garages. Can you believe that? But let's face it, it's not all smooth cycling in the Netherlands. The public transport system, while efficient, can be a bit on the pricey side. And anyone who's tried driving in Amsterdam knows that the city can sometimes feel like a maze, with all the canals and narrow streets.
Oh, I bet.
Also, if you thought traffic jams were exclusive to cars, wait until you see a Dutch bike lane during rush hour. So for the love of bikes, great planning and a powerhouse port, the Netherlands gets an 8.5 for infrastructure.
Okay.
As we drive along these well-laid roads, let's explore the tourism potential of the two nations.
Now, I would say the Netherlands with Amsterdam and stuff, I bet it has more tourism. But then again, Brussels being the capital of the European Union, I don't know, that might take the cake.
First of all, Europe is a treasure trove of tourist destinations, and the Netherlands and Belgium are two jewels in its crown. The Netherlands is known worldwide for its tulip fields, windmills, cheese markets and its vibrant capital Amsterdam.
Yep.
Each year, millions of tourists flock to the Keukenhof Gardens to witness a spectacular sight of millions of tulips in bloom. In Amsterdam, tourists are enchanted by the historical charm of its canals, the touching Anne Frank House, and the rich collection of art at the Van Gogh Museum.
Speaking of Anne Frank House, there's a movie that me and Amy's actually going to watch tonight. It's called My Best Friend, Anne Frank, and it's about Anne Frank's... It centers on Anne Frank's best friend and like her perspective and viewpoints on the whole thing. Very historical, and I can't wait because I'm going to learn a lot about, because I don't know a whole lot about World War II and all that stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a great movie.
And Rijksmuseum. The country's efforts to preserve and showcase its rich maritime history also adds to its allure, with destinations such as the historic port of Rotterdam and the Maritime Museum in Amsterdam. This blend of nature, history and culture gives the Netherlands a solid score of 7 in the tourism category.
That's it?
Cross the border into Belgium and you find a country teeming with equally stunning attractions. But Belgium might not be the first country you think of when you think of tourism. But this country actually has numerous of interesting places to visit.
Oh,
with well-preserved medieval towns such as Bruges, often referred to as the Venice of the North, it's renowned for its picturesque canals and historic buildings. In Brussels, the grandeur of the Grand Palace and the futuristic Atomium are must-visit landmarks.
Oh, cool.
And don't forget about the magnificent castles scattered throughout the country.
Now, to be fair, both countries have castles, and the Netherlands actually has like whole fortress cities that are shaped like a star, which is pretty cool. They got cities that's 2,000 years old.
Such as Gravenstein in Ghent or the Château de Bouillon in Wallonia. The numerous World War I and II memorials, such as the Meningate and the Bastogne War Museum, provide some insights into Belgium's war-ridden past. Also, let's not forget about Waterloo, the famous battleground here where Napoleon were defeated. I'm sticking my head out here and naming Belgium the winner with 7.5 points.
Wow, okay.
As there's simply so many things to see all over the country. And as an extra nugget of information in the tourism section, if you can, make sure to visit the city of Barley. This is a spectacular place that sits on the border between the Netherlands and Belgium, and is one of the strangest borders in the world, with people having their living room in one country and a kitchen in another.
Yeah.
And I actually made a video about this place, which you can find at the link at the top right or in the description.
Yeah, I actually did a reaction to that. It's the city that's in 2 countries or something like that. If I can remember, I'll try to find it and drop a link up in that corner somewhere.
For me and a lot of other people, tourism is also eating and trying various kinds of food. So let's see how these countries score in the food section. Food is basically the window to a country's soul.
And a lot of people say Netherlands doesn't have that great of food, that is kind of bland and stuff. But they have stroopwafels, so that's a win for me.
Someone please put that on a t-shirt and I'll buy it straight away. Both these countries have some distinct and special offerings, although I find a clear winner here. I mean, let's be honest. Dutch cuisine isn't usually what makes food's heart beat faster.
Right.
But with that said, there are some gems here that
and the cheese selection. Gouda cheese is from there.
Is a must-try for pretty much anyone. And to start with the obvious, cheese. These people know cheese, and who doesn't love cheese? Gouda, Edam,
is Gouda, sir.
and Masdam. The Dutch are major players in the global cheese market, and they should be. This stuff is amazing. Then foods such as stroopwafels and the Dutch pancakes called pannenkoeken are some nice foods on the Swedish side. And a dish called stampot, which is mashed potatoes and veggies mixed together, is also pretty good if you're in for something a bit heavier.
I actually did, I made some of that in a video, but I guess I made a mix between like hutspot and stampot. Because one of them's mashed with kale, one of them's mashed with carrots. I did it with both. It was great, and I had some rookworst sausage that was sent to me from the Netherlands. I think that was from the HappyRun store. Amazing sausage. Best sausage I've ever had, actually. So good. I wish they sold it here.
All in all, with the cheese as the savior here, we hand Netherlands 6 points for food. Belgium.
Now, you should get an extra bonus point for the stroopwafels, man, because that is so good.
On the other hand, is a foodie's paradise. Maybe not the absolute gastronomic experience, but man, do they have some tasty things here.
Well, okay, so with Belgium and food, you know, you're going to have Netherlands influence and you're going to have French influence. And everybody knows French cuisine is world class. So I would assume for sure Belgium's going to take it here.
Belgian chocolate is a delight that needs no introduction.
Best chocolate on earth, man. Best chocolate. I've had authentic Belgium chocolate sent to me from you guys, you wonderful viewers of mine, and so good, so good. I've had chocolate from Norway. I've had chocolate from Germany. I've had chocolate from where else was it sent from? Belgium, of course. Netherlands. I can't remember. I feel like there was another country that I had chocolate sent to me from, but I can't remember. But Belgium takes the cake on that one. Oh, Russian chocolate. It wasn't sent to me. It was in a food box. I was doing like this. I was sponsored by like this Try Treats food box company. And yeah, there was some Russian chocolate, which wasn't bad either.
They have some tasty things here. Belgian chocolate is a delight that needs no introduction. With hundreds of chocolate manufacturers and a history of chocolate making that goes back centuries, Belgium scores high on the sweet index. Add to this the Belgian waffles, which have gained international fame, and you have a sugar-coated match made in heaven. And who could forget Belgian fries? Contrary to popular belief, fries are actually a Belgian creation, and the country is proud of its fries. If that wasn't enough, Belgium is known as a brewing paradise, with over 1,500 different types of beers. I'm giving Belgium a 7 in this category.
You should have gave him an 8 just for the Trappist ales. Just saying. Westvletten 12. Woo! The most interesting beer I've ever tasted. It is absolutely every taste you pick up on different notes. It's like you taste it, you smell it, and it's like different each time. Like it changes. It's like it's so amazing.
As they have some incredible tasty treats, but actual food dishes isn't anything super impressive. So from filling our stomachs, let's now fill our minds with some history and culture.
Okay.
European history is just fascinating, and both the Netherlands and Belgium have their unique threads in it. The Dutch Golden Age in the 17th century was a period of immense wealth and cultural achievement. The Dutch art from this period, including works by masters like Rembrandt, is celebrated worldwide. The Netherlands is also known for its liberal values, tolerance and freedom, which have shaped its modern cultural identity.
You didn't mention Van Gogh, or how do you pronounce it? Van Gogh, something like that.
Its vibrant traditions like King's Day, the Sinterklaas festival, and its passion for cycling adds to its cultural richness.
Now, isn't Sinterklaas also a Belgian thing?
However, their history is not all positive. The Dutch has a long history of colonialism, particularly in countries like Indonesia and South Africa, which has left a stain on their history. But the Dutch have pretty much been everywhere during its history, and has been a serious player in the discovery of the world.
They founded New York, used to be called New Amsterdam.
All in all, Dutch impressive history with a few dark clouds, together with their interest in culture, gets them an 8 in this category. Heading over to Belgium, and its history is like a thrilling roller coaster ride.
I thought there was something wrong with my headset for a minute. I think it's just that section in the video. That's weird. I don't like that sound effect.
7-8 in this category. Heading over to Belgium, and its history is like a thrilling roller coaster ride. The country's strategic location has made it a crossroad of cultures and influences. The region has witnessed important historical events, from Roman times through Middle Ages to the 2 world wars. Belgium has been a battleground for Europe's power, and has therefore earned the nickname Battlefield of Europe.
Okay.
Its cultural identity is shaped by the Dutch-speaking Flemish community in the north and the French-speaking Walloon community in the south.
And I just remembered, there's actually a section of Belgium that speaks German over here on the right-hand side somewhere. I don't know if it's like up in this area or if it's down in that area there. But yeah, there is a small section that speaks German, and it's often overlooked.
Each with its unique traditions and heritage. Belgium's historical cities are filled with architectural marvels.
That's amazing.
And the country has made significant contributions to the world of art. But Belgium's history also has a dark side, with a period of colonial rule, notably in Congo, which was marked by brutality and exploitation.
How do you think they got so good into chocolate? It was chocolate slaves.
Complex blend of history and culture scores Belgium a 7. Alright, so let's...
Man, I hate that sound effect. It literally sounds like my speakers are bugging out on me. Or my headset.
Count the points together. But before we do that, I want to thank today's sponsor for making this video possible.
Surfshark.
As someone who loves to travel and explore new cultures, I get super annoyed when I have to confirm my accounts again and again.
Go check out Surfshark. But I'm gonna skip it.
Landscape, economy, infrastructure, tourism, food, and history and culture. As you can see, this matchup is incredibly close when we look at these categories. And with a small margin, Netherlands came out on top. So for all you Dutch people watching this, you can proudly wave your flag today as the superior country.
I got a Dutch flag actually that somebody sent me. I'm not gonna wave it though, it's hanging on my window back there.
It would kind of be interesting to see how the scores would change if we add a couple other categories as well, but that might be for another video. Let's hope this video doesn't cause any diplomatic incidents and that the residents of Barley still can function together. If you want us to compare some other countries, let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
and if you want us to do more categories between these two, let me know about that as well.
Put Liechtenstein in there. Is it Liechtenstein or what's that other country that's Luxembourg, sorry, yeah. Throw Luxembourg in there with the mix. But anyways, that was awesome, guys. Netherlands comes out on top. Close second for Belgium. If they talked about the Delta Works, Netherlands would have scored higher, right? Or the Afsluitdijk. But anyways, don't be fighting, guys. Belgians and Dutchies are friends. Remember that. All right, you guys have a super fun, awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, bye.